by slamming your game with ads.
Yeah, it's just like pointy stick or stick. Which one? It's like no stick, please. No stick, Papa.
And
Yeah.
then you reach for the carrot, and it turns out the carrot's just an orange stick.
Jumps down and slides down the hill. I see shots going above his head.
So she's like, oh, great, on her one day off, you're trying to romance this Pan Am chick. I'm like, honey, it's V, it's not me. Come on.
Brought back some old Catholic school memories, did it?
Oh man, yeah. You just okay. You know the DMV sloth.
I know you're going with this.
Yeah, this guy. We are on
You're listening to
101.3
On the
FM,
Rewind.
Amherst Island Radio. Okay, and welcome back to On the Rewind. We missed last week's episode due to scheduling issues, but we are back and we are at it. Derek, how was your time?
It's been interesting enough, very chaotic at work, but so we're ended up being down like 8 guys out of a staff of like 23.
Why?
Flu, COVID, all the other sorts of just regular things.
Flu is going around in our area.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. That always makes work easy.
Oh yeah, well there is the whole talk about night shift starting like next week, and then like, oh, 8 guys down. Well, you know what? We need your manpower here.
Oh, that's kind of nice. At least like
Yeah.
it kind of worked out. Yeah.
Have you seen that Ahsoka show?
No, I have seen the trailers for it though. Looks pretty sick, and as a fan of the old Clone Wars show, that's kind of neat that they're kind of bringing her into the universe a little bit more.
Yeah, just don't expect the flashiest combat.
Really?
Yeah. You know how she is very acrobatic in the animated show?
Yeah, like too much so almost.
Yeah, the prosthetics they use, because they went with prosthetics, not CG.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
like they're a little too rigged to allow that kind of fluidity, but they kind of went, I don't know, they kind of gave her more of like a samurai approach than a
that's nice.
a shinobi.
It's like the old Batman where you have to turn your whole body instead of just your neck.
Yeah. But other than that, like, I don't know, it the Star Wars Rebels animated show?
I know of it. I have not watched it yet though.
I think I watched like the pilot and a couple episodes,
Yeah.
but they tie in that show into the main live action series as well with the series.
Yeah, I did watch a video doc recently saying they're kind of trying to make it almost like a Marvel universe with all these shows kind of intertwining into each other.
Well, it's funny about that. They canceled half the canon. All
Really?
the books aren't, like, when Disney bought it, Disney's like, yeah, half the books aren't, canon anymore.
That's great.
And then they've been pulling from those books and remaking into their own canon. So it's almost like plagiarizing in a sense.
Yeah.
But not, because they own it.
Yeah. Yeah, just pulling pieces that they like, but stuff where it
Yeah.
probably like ties off a knot, they want to reopen it.
Yeah, it also just kind of seems like a way that they can put new writers' names on it.
True. Yeah.
In a sense, everyone wants that piece of credit.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine you can now say that you wrote Star Wars.
Yeah. Though I feel like in today's thing, if you go to like the nerdiest corners of the internet, it's not a flex.
No, it's like almost like putting a target on your back.
Yeah. In a weird kind of twisted way.
Mm-hmm.
On speaking of that, they got the new Star Wars game that was announced a little while back, the one where you're a bounty hunter. I think that's due to come out next year still.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I did see something on that. Kind of looked nice graphic wise.
Yeah.
Didn't look too much into it though.
Yeah, I think they're leaning heavy on the animal companion to sell it. There are a lot of trailers showing the animal companion.
What is it?
It's like a cat, but it's a space cat.
Okay, well now you just got my purchase.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's sick. Anything else?
Well, the story of Oliver Grimm's has come back in a very
Yes.
dark and twisted way. So people that weren't happy with what happened in the original server I was in went off and made their own. A lot of the same people like that were staff there left the owner and some of the administration, and ironically a lot of the people I like communicated with on a regular basis inside the server ended up becoming like staff. And so it kind of like, all right, there's a little bit of faith there.
Yeah.
Like these are people that like you kind of you know what their interests are. It's not to make it a second job, it's to make it fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
And
like if you thought about it, some of the money that server was making, holy
oh,
cow!
yeah. Numbers wise, the server's nowhere near as big on the like size capacity. Because I don't know what it is now. And ironically, do you know the streamer Sturgeki?
No, I do not.
You know Aqua FPS. They're Tarkov streamers and stuff like that.
Okay, then I definitely wouldn't know them.
Yeah. But if you're into that corner niche of the internet of like hardcore shooters and survival game players and stuff like that get into more of the competitive side, but also comedic
Yeah.
kind of competitive.
Yeah.
He actually is now streaming and playing on the old server I was on. But that's something I've seen that's a trend with these. You make one kind of like a second home, and then eventually something happens that drives a wedge into you feeling like, okay, this isn't working out for me anymore. It's not worth it. I actually saw it happen to a lot of people. I thought it's like, oh, I got the ranch, I got the good people around me, and then things change, people come and go, and stuff like that. Changes the element, and then eventually, well, with the big thing of just like felt kind of screwed over. So it's just kind of like, all right, this is my time to bow out.
Yeah.
Took a decent hiatus for something that's like a live service thing. It's kind of like an MMO. You know how a lot of people like to take a break from WoW and then they come back to WoW.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is my WoW.
You'll be doing it for It's funny. The old roommate actually was that exact same way.
Yeah.
He's had a WoW account for like as soon as the game came out, and he just every once in a while he showed me his character list, and it's like, that one's from like 6 years ago, that's 7 years ago. Like, it's crazy. But no, that's cool.
A couple of your buddies do that rotation too. Other ones there. But aside from that, went from working at a ranch, owning the ranch, to what I'm calling I lost it in a Ponzi scheme with a lawyer.
I love it.
Because that's my way of saying an admin fucked me over.
Love it.
To now I'm the Undertaker of roads. I'm on the opposite end of the map, burying bodies for a living.
I like, obviously, to people that are listening, I already knew this, but I loved it, and I just had the thought, the WWE character Undertaker, is that his name? Yeah, you got to get that bell. You got to have that intro playing when you walk into town.
There's been lots of dead body jokes, and at one point, there's a way I can get limbs in the game as an Undertaker. All right, so with all that going, this is gonna sound like I'm looping a lot, but we just had to do a quick little backtrack edit there. Okay, oh god, blanking. It is a late recording.
Yeah, no worries.
We're burning the midnight oil here, and I am not caffeinated enough. So, please bear with me here.
Yeah.
Try to put a little more energy into all our recordings, but sorry, this one's gonna hit a little hard.
Nah, it's a late night show.
So, Undertaker. Oh yeah, the late night show is gonna end with me snoring at the end of the podcast, and it's gonna be like an extra 5 minutes. Like,
yeah, as soon as I start talking about Starfield, all of a sudden I start hearing like light breathing that just turns into a rumble thunder.
Well, time to go get the rum and coke out now. Nappy nap juice. So with the Undertaker, you can get limbs.
Yeah.
And so there's these two deputies that were arguing on their porch in the town that I'm in. And mind you, the cool thing is I'm the only person in cities and towns allowed to wear a mask because I got to deal with the bodies.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, no one knew what my guy's face looked like. They just saw a guy in all black with a black apron that's usually covered in blood with a ponytail.
I don't know.
And blue eyes. That's all they know.
I love that.
And talking like this, and no, gotta put these in graves, dig up some more. Anyone comes in acting like an idiot, well, I always got a couple extra plots open.
Yeah, it's almost
Hey.
more concerning if you're not the gravedigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny on top of that. Well, hopefully no one listens to this and does any meta. But for a while there, the bodies were pretty scarce, so I was actually paying people to go find me bodies or make bodies. And it was funny because my first interaction doing this is like, you want us to go dig up graves so you got more room to bury bodies? It's like, no. We gotta fill graves. I need you to bring bodies for me to put in the holes. I got too many holes. You need to fill my holes.
Step bro.
And it was kind of awesome. Like, it was just like there's some really cool RP that happened that way.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the people that were playing criminals are purposely playing not too bright.
Yeah. I like
And
that.
like there was this one lady who was hurting for money for food, so I just like, it's like, well, you get your hands dirty. He's like, and of course, it's a woman's eyes. Like, what do you mean, mister? It's like, oh, no, not like that. I mean, like, you go hunting, you make an honest dollar. How honest are you not willing to be? And they're like, it's like, well, and they're like, I used to run with, like, they're talking about like their like last boyfriend used to rob people and something. It's like, all right, well, you don't need to rob anybody. I just need you to bring me a body. Give you like $3.
So
And then the rest of the Undertaker, and I called the Undertaker Union. It's not a union. There's just like there's 3 of us, right?
Yep. No, I totally get you.
And there's one head guy. So I just call it. It's like, oh yeah, no, I'm part of the Undertaker Union. I got this office because we all ride together and do stuff.
Yeah.
And so we're going. They happen to swing on by. And they're like, oh, we need something to do. It's like, well, there's a fight club in Armadillo, which, mind you, is like still like a little bit of like an emotional roller coaster because I got a year of gaming and talking to people and socializing and running a ranch down out that way.
Yeah.
Of just like, man, there's a lot of interesting people, a lot of cool characters, people I got to know out of the server and stuff like that. I got to make cat connections too. Like, I was laid off for a while when I first started, and then so I had a lot of free time. And then when I started working again, still, was around fairly bit, worked my way up to be respectful enough that it didn't matter how little I was around. People were just happy to have me around. And then, the sad thing about losing the ranch and then whatnot. So it's just kind of like, man, I said, like, there's part of me that's tempted to go and save up and buy it
Yeah.
in the server and start it back up. But I'm like, I just don't have the time it takes to get one of those up and running again.
No.
Like, I had some good people underneath me for it, but like I said, it's just the administration kind of took that out. But circling back, we go down to Armadillo, and the one guy there is like the number one undefeated like champion for like the fisticuffs
That's cool.
in the last server, and he's also now the preacher for our Undertaker Union. He's not actual Undertaker; he's the priest.
I love that. Oh my god!
And he has such like a bassy baritone voice, and like it's funny because you got his girlfriend, his partner, his best friend or whatever, who's riding with him. Who's, I don't know, I think it's his partner in IRL, and they also play together
Yeah.
on this server. And so she's having to fight off all these women constantly coming on to him. So the fact that there's this clip, I'll see if I can't find it and send it to you, or get him to send it to me,
Yeah.
where there's this guy in server going, "Ooh, big man," at the top of their lungs when he's riding through, because I don't know if he just knows how to work the server thing, but he builds like the tallest character you can get.
I love that.
So he's big baritone, big bear of a man. And then the best friend aspect isn't too far behind on height, but it's this like someone that's your and my age who's working. I think they make marble counters and stuff like that in real life.
Yeah.
And well, I talk like this, but they throw such an old man voice on the grasp, and they play an old man in the server. Like he's like, man, I'm getting old, like in the 50s and 60s old kind of thing.
I love that.
It kind of and it plays into kind of something the bumbling old man, and also like the old man that is like Mr. Burns living off of anger and spite,
Yeah, I like
but
that.
a lot friendlier. But he's also such a softie, because like the time that like my character was on the run, like huge softie, like actually like when I finally like came back, it's like, don't you ever run off again, I missed you.
Yeah, I like just the idea of a priest that just is ready to throw down whenever, but you always
it's the Catholic Irish priest stereotype without an Irish guy being the priest.
yeah.
Oh, and I don't know if I can say this on air, but I think it's all right in a sense. I think we can get away with it.
All right.
So he says he's like, I'm ordained, but depending on your religion depends on what you call me. Some of you will call me father, and some of you call me daddy, and it's like, so one's confession and the other one's a spanking, is it? and that got a good laugh.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, it was good. Like it's a little smutty, but I think it's clean enough for radio.
Oh gosh, yeah.
They get away with worse on K-Rock.
Oh god, yeah.
But yeah, so we go down. Old man talks the priest into getting into the fisticuffs to try and win a gun for him. Yeah, but this person that I was trying to convince to go get me bodies gets roped into all of this. and this little side adventure.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, and that's how it is. It's just like it's just like, so there's some days it's slow. You kind of got to go make your own fun.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple days that they weren't showing up, and I guess I can't say I quite joined. I'm a trial member for the Hunters Guild that they've made. So like there's this group of hunters that go out to saloons and contract the mates, and all I gotta do is pretty much just go hunt when I'm not burying bodies and I don't got people to keep me company.
Yeah.
And then fill out orders. So it gives me something to do, make a little bit of money on the side.
No, that's sweet. I like that.
Yeah, but I gotta go complete a trial, and they make you roll dice to see what animals you get, and you have to know where that animal is and go track it down and go hunt it.
That's crazy.
And I was just like, okay, I can get all these. Okay, that one's gonna be a pain. And then someone got the silver fox, and I have not seen a silver fox once on this server. I've seen red foxes, but I have not seen a silver fox.
Yeah.
Ironically, in the entire time playing just Red Dead at all, I saw my first like snow cougar. And it wasn't even up north, it was in Mexico.
No way.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about these
Weird.
custom servers. They have Mexico modded in.
Oh, I love that. Okay, that's pretty sick.
And they got Guarma modded in too, so you can go take a boat to Guarma.
Oh, that's kind of neat. Is there a whole like community of people role playing in there, or is it just a place you can visit? Oh, okay.
Another cool thing about the new server is they have an underground fight club where you can go around. I'm not gonna say where, so that way people don't get the spoilers and metas. Go find out IC is what they always say.
Yeah.
In character. But you can go. You start off in this one town. You find this back door with a dark lit lamp. And you go up to it. You knock, and then you enroll into a fight club. You fight your first guy there, and they tell you, "All right, now go ahead to this town. and then you have to go clear out this town of fighters. Like they're all NPCs,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And you pretty much like it's an actual like like you remember the Arthur Morgan like Valentine Saloon boss fight?
Yep.
It's like back to back those
That's cool.
in a modded server.
That's
So
sick.
it's
Okay, yeah. Oh, that'd be
And
fun.
now that I'm not the owner of a ranch and that I don't got to keep clean, I've been prepping the knowledge. I haven't done anything yet, but I'm definitely going the criminal route this time around.
Yeah, that is sweet that you almost kind of like you don't have anything kind of holding you back. And you have a job that's kind of easy enough to like you can be a criminal and still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta not get hung. And they're pretty hanging happy on this one. So that's a little bit of fear. It's like I don't want to lose my guy.
Yeah. I like that though.
But mind you, unless you're like outright murdering deputies left and right and getting caught all the time,
Yeah.
you're not gonna have to worry about it.
But I kind of like that. It's like an actual fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it plays into the role play really well.
Oh yeah, because you got to fear for life, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
one of the rules.
That's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's progressing in other ways. There's a couple things I'd like to touch on it, but I want to kind of wait for those events to pass on. So if anyone from the server happens to listen to this,
Yeah.
that they're not able to get on the current plan, so I'll have
Smart.
to update that in a little while. But that's it for the RP side. I'm kind of happy to have it back.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wasn't sure if I was ever going to do it again, but then the right people were running this server for me to kind of have faith in it.
Sweet.
Seeing a lot of old faces. The sad thing is always like when old faces are under new names, so you kind of got to act like you don't know them.
Yeah, but you're so happy to see them again.
Yeah, kind of, but it's like, oh, they're right there. I want to say something, but it doesn't make sense for me to. And then some people are like, it's like, you're familiar. It's like, well, you don't remember Cougar Ranch? And they're like, yeah, I do. It's like, yeah, it's been a while, ain't it? 9 years or so. and then at that point, you can kind of basically be like, all right, they remember the ranch. They remember me. All right, we can go play off our history for a little while and play the catch-up game.
Love it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's, and it's funny because, like, I've gotten messages like, "Oh, you're on this server," and I'm like, "Yeah," and you'll never guess what job I got. And they're like, and the first thing they always say is law.
Oh, that's cool. So you're like really flipping it 180 on them.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And the couple people that found out, they're just like, "Makes sense," and I'm like, "What? How does this make sense?" This was on like a off chance. I was about to go register to be a doctor, and then some people that recognized me was like, "Hey, we got this gig being undertakers. You want to join?" And I'm like, "Well, these are the people I used to hang around when I wasn't at the ranch,
Yeah.
and that were tightly knit into the ranch." So I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna go do this rather than patch people up and talk to strangers."
Yeah. No, that is cool.
Yeah. Plus, that's an interesting. It's like burying bodies. Well, I used to do that all the time. It's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, when gangs rode to the ranch, we buried those folks too. Or fam to the Cougar Outback.
I still love the idea that it was called Cougar Ranch because a cougar kept spawning.
Yeah.
Just a funny
Still spawns there to this day.
Yeah. Saying till this day is sick.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny because it would probably be one of the only businesses that if I got it back and got it up and running, I could say established in 1901, whereas the service taking place in 1910.
Oh, that is kind of cool.
And it'd be the only business. So it's like, man, if I could like somehow bring that back and like get that, it'd be a little heartwarming.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there ever comes a time that like, things work out, time's more open.
Yeah.
The career kind of finally settles in its spot. Then I could possibly do something like that. But yeah. But yeah, kind of it's the update on that side. I'm just gonna double check my notes. One thing, the last touch up. Now, this wasn't
Excuse me.
recent, but it was in between our recordings.
Yeah.
So I don't know again how well this is gonna pair for our non-extended edition side, but I still think it's worth that adding in and kind of getting some fun laughs.
Yeah.
So, me and the missus were at an adult store,
Okay.
and I won't go into why or anything like that. That's personal. But there's this old guy that comes in,
Yeah.
and we're browsing. Because why not? We came in there for one specific thing, but now we're browsing. Just because why not? Our first time being in one together.
Yeah.
And we hear him on he answers his phone. It's like, no, I'm not at Walmart.
That's funny.
And it's like this really old guy. You're just basically, he's like, you gotta imagine it's the wife. It's like, oh, are you at Walmart yet? It's like, no, I'm not at Walmart.
Not yet, hon. No.
It's like, I'm at the store. It's like, Walmart, no.
Damn it, woman. Listen to me. Not Walmart.
But yeah, no, I wanted to get that in on the show.
Yeah, I like that.
I got some news, but let's go ahead and take it to your week before we dive into that.
Okay. So,
Prepare for Starfield. Spoiler warning now.
yeah, huge spoiler warning on Starfield. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much taken over my whole life.
I told you it would.
Yeah.
And
So
you said you're just dabble until
yeah,
payday. And we both know that was a lie.
I made such a mistake because I started it before I had a shift one day, and I swear to God, I almost called in. Cause like, oh my God, it's so fun.
I get that urge.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I gotta stay good.
As like a lot of people have been saying that it is buggy, and to be honest, I've only encountered one bug. It was not game breaking, but it was quest breaking. And I'll try not to get into very, very specifics, but I had a big choice to make. But it's like almost a timed thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to make my decision once I'm out of harm's way. Well, going over there decided it for me. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So then I look at my saves. Unfortunately, the save that I had was before I docked at the ship, that you do the thing, finish the thing, and then you get the choice to make. So I go with that save, and I can't dock to the ship. And I Google it. Everyone is having this issue. Because you would make this big choice, and then you would decide you don't want to make that choice anymore. So you would go back and remake the choice, but the game doesn't let you. Even though it's on like a save that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So I was up until, well, first actually, I tried to let it go. And the choice pretty much is between good guys and bad guys. But when you haven't made the choice yet, good guys and bad guys both are cool with you. So the game gets boring quick. Because like the main story puts you in front of bad guys, and the bad guys all look at you and they're like, "What's up, bro? You need this big quest item that would have taken a boss fight? Have at it. It's cool. We're chill." I'm like, oh, I don't like this at all. And then this is probably the most spoiling I'm gonna get. If you go against the good guys, the UC, you still can land in any UC place, good guy place. You don't have a bounty. Nothing else in the story changes. Just this one ship, this one good guy ship, just doesn't like you. And that's all right. But that's it. So even though I kind of liked the bad guys, just for my own lore in my own head, I had to choose the good guys, because then at least it makes sense that they don't like you anymore and that they don't associate with you anymore and they attack you on sight. Because then, yeah, at least the lore in my head kind of works out to what that would work out to. But anyways, back to the ship. I had to go into the console commands, find the mission ID, get that mission ID, see the sections that the mission ID is split into, which it's like 1 to 1500, which is really, really annoying. And Derek, I had to set my stage point from 1 all the way till I hit 500, each individual, till I finally tripped it so that it thinks that I not only docked in the ship, I've done everything in the ship, and I've left the ship, and now I can make that choice again. Yeah. So I'm glad I did it too. Like, I probably messed up my achievements because I used console commands, but the fact is, right after you make that choice, you have the best Star Wars-esque battle of your life in space and like take down everything, and there's explosions and stuff like that. But yeah, I for everyone that's saying like it's full of bugs on PC, not really, not at all. It's just when you try and go against the flow of the game is where I found I've had the worst issues. So yeah, that's actually, I guess that was all my thing on that comment. I don't know. Have you heard anything about it?
Not on that bug. Have you ran into the Valentine ship yet?
No.
Oh man, I want to talk to you about that ship so bad.
Yeah, I've ran into an AI called Juno. That was kind of interesting. By the way, just for people that are semi-interested, I made like a Star-Lord, Han Solo type character that like I was super into settlements in Fallout, but I'm not touching settlements at all. I'm not buying an apartment. I live exclusively on my ship, which brings me to ships are pretty much as advanced as a settlement building, and I am loving it. Absolutely loving it. Because you find...
You can make some really pretty settlements though.
Oh, yeah, you can. Oh, yeah. And you can decorate like a really, really nice apartment too. Like the settlement system and the shipbuilding and settlement building are almost at the same level of advancement. And then right behind it is apartment decorating. Like you can do whatever you want, whatever style you want. And I don't know. I just love it because it's so much customization. For someone who loves customizing, it's actually gotten to the point where I have had to bow out and say, nope, not touching that at all. I need to at least go to work for like one day. I can't just keep doing this. So, yeah. Like, and yes, I am probably ignoring some of the bad things about it because I'm so enamored and so taken back by it. But like, I don't know, some of the stuff in it, like, I've already brought this up to Derek before, but we're Canadian, obviously. Canadians are only referenced once in the food product called Canuck, and it is all I survive on. I don't touch chunks, which is just for anyone else, it's square type food. It's hilarious. You get a square cake, you get a square thing of wine, which is just wine gelatin. Anyways, there is canned double, there is canned poutine, canned bacon, canned pancakes, and it just tickles my funny bone in the best little way because it's all just super, like the brandy of Canuck is super like, sorry, eh? Try the pancakes, eh? And it's awesome. It's so cool that like we're not represented a lot in the game, but we are represented in one of the main food sources. I don't know. Maybe I'm like still, I don't know why I'm so skeptic, but maybe I'm still like so new into it that I don't see that there's a brick wall of like no content. But so far, I don't know. I I just started playing the main story again to kind of just like, well, to be honest, get rid of Sarah Morgan. But anyways, start playing it, and anyone who's played past the first few constellation missions knows there is like a mind-bending brand new mechanic that just gets plopped on your lap, and you're like, I didn't know there was going to be more to this. I put like 48 hours into the game, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, whole new mechanic that changes everything that you've been doing. This is why they tell you to complete the main story, because yeah, now everything's flipped on its head. I don't know really where to go with it. Yeah, I know I rambled there for a bit.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Yeah.
So with that, because that's a lot of the Starfield. Modding scene's already blown up on that.
Yeah, I was looking into it, trying to fix that one problem I had until I had to go to console commands.
Yeah. One thing I'm extremely skeptic of right now, though,
Yeah.
Roblox coming to consoles.
Roblox?
Yeah. It's like not just like, oh, hit a button and drain your parents' credit card. And literally the description for Roblox, a long-running free-to-play child distraction tool, makes its debut on PlayStation consoles on October 10th. Children distraction tool. No, it's children spend your money tool.
Yeah.
So it might be free to play, but all the skins and shiny things, it's just like hit a button, purchase.
Oh yeah, and like, yeah, every microtransaction's kind of bleh, but like from what I've seen from videos of that, like they're really awful. Whereas just like the smallest item you can get a skin for, but it costs you $20.
Yeah. Well, it's like I don't know how Sony should be good about it because there should be multiple steps.
Yeah.
But like, if from what I've read, if you're actually playing the game on like PC or whatever, you hit a button and it's automatic. Transaction went through. It's not yes, failing checkout. No, it's hit the button.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sneaky. I don't like that.
If once the information's in, it's in. You hit the button.
That's not good.
So I got this list of games coming out October. It's because we're at the beginning. May as well go through. Some of these are actually going to come out on the day of, and then a couple of these are coming out already. Okay. So we got Blink's Folly that came out on the 2nd, which it's you take on the role of Percival Blinks. You're trying to find his lost family members, and it's kind of like an old Game Boy game looking kind of aesthetic.
Okay.
You do you remember like those arcade flash games we used to play like in elementary school on the old Macs and stuff like that, like mini clips and stuff like that?
Yeah, I literally just watched a YouTuber go back and play some of them. It's crazy.
You remember Armored Games?
I probably not, but then you'll show me a screenshot of one of their games, I'll probably tear up.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna send you the video, and you can just quietly watch it, and you can just watch the first like couple company names scroll up.
All right.
So
okay, yeah, Armor Games for sure. I've seen that.
Yeah. Well, they're now gone from hosting Flash to now, I guess, publishing or making games.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, treasure hunting and mini games, a petable dog, you betcha. That's their advertising.
Yeah. Smartest advertising out there.
And then they got this, are you familiar with the XCOM games?
Yes, I am.
The Lamp Lighters League, and that came out on the 3rd, It's XCOM, but Call of Cthulhu.
Oh.
So HP Lovecraftian and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also came out on the 3rd is Sissaga 7 Vows of the Virtuous.
Yeah.
It's an anime game. That's like a chibi anime game, kind of Final Fantasy Tactics. But chibi nonetheless.
Sweet.
Like we're talking like something that's like you try and make your way through maps with a mini army of characters with 40 classes.
Oh, that's kind of sick. Okay.
Yeah.
What was that game? Pikmin?
The Blakeman's Folly is the treasure hunting mini game with the Armor Games by Armor Games Studio.
Yeah, sorry. No. The one where you have a bunch of people following you reminds me of that one Pikmin. Is it the one with the little sprouts following you?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, sorry. I just realized that's really close.
It's more like a chessboard kind of game.
Okay.
Like you got the grid system and you're moving, kind of like XCOM in a sense. But have you ever seen Final Fantasy Tactics?
No.
Oh, that's a hard reference for you not to get. Oof. All right. There's half of my, or not half, a good chunk of my tool set to describe a certain genres of games. It's a strategy RPG.
Oh, okay.
So then you got Silent Hope, which is kind of like just kind of like a mob hack and slash kind of do the quests, do the camps RPG, do a little bit of farming, build your equipment up, and go do the dungeon raids. You can pet cows.
Aw, okay.
Yeah. And then Scorn's coming to PS5, so that'd be an alright Halloween game.
Mm-hmm.
Or I should say came to, because like October 3rd. And then are you familiar with like Volox or like the Pixel style games?
Yeah.
There's a train one that came out. Station to Station.
Okay. So
You
like
got these
when you say like
actually kind of like beautiful because it's got like ray tracing lighting.
oh, what was that game called? Yeah, is it like a point and click adventure?
It seems like an exploration kind of.
Oh,
game,
wow.
to be
Okay,
honest.
yeah, this was
It's a train sim featuring management and challenges and cute blocky graphics. Is the way it goes.
See, I was expecting 2D, not 3D.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that is gorgeous.
and that came out yesterday as of the recording. So about Wednesday for Tuesday for the people listening on radio.
Yeah.
What comes out on the day for the release, provided we're releasing this tomorrow, right?
That is correct. Well, we're airing this tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Mirage comes out as of this recording.
Yeah.
It's people are comparing it to the early Assassin's Creed, but there's a lot of the new stuff implemented into it.
Okay.
So and from what I saw in the web videos, I wasn't too impressed with the assassin takedowns.
Really? Why?
So there's like this thing that you can do that's like you're manipulating the heritage machine or whatever, the machine that you're locked into,
Yeah.
to where you can kind of fast time multi-assassinate, so you're like blinking, like D&D, like Misty Step,
Yeah.
which
Whoa.
honestly, for an assassin's, like if it was like, I don't know, something that wasn't Assassin's Creed doing that, maybe I'd be alright with it, but like, man, I like it's like the Assassin's Creed 2 and that whole trilogy, and then
Yep.
the ones that came after that were good up until like Black Flag was like their last solid good one. And then I took a huge break. And then I came back in Valhalla and I was just like, all right, they had 2 games that were using the system. This is what they've gotten to, and it's Viking theme. All right, I don't mind this one. It's not the Assassin's Creed I know though.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, we're going back to the roots," and then it's like, "No, you're not. aesthetically, yes.
was
But
gonna say,
that's my hang up on it.
yeah, the last Assassin's Creed game that many fans agree after all the bugs and the fixes was Unity, because
Yeah.
it got
Oh,
dogged on.
I liked Unity.
Yeah,
I loved the fact that you could do the co-op and the customization and everything else like that.
yeah,
It was like just short of making your own assassin.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And the staff, I always rock the staff, but
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people dogged on it when it first came out, but they did enough patches and enough fixes that a lot of people refer to it as, well, before Mirage comes out, I don't know, but refer to it as the last Assassin's Creed that was actually like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. But after that, we're diving into the Mechs Front Mission 2 for the Switch. I think that's actually, yeah, it's a remake because Front Mission's an older series.
Yeah.
And also on Switch and coming to Windows, we got War Groove 2. Now this looks like it's turn based and it's kind of got like it's pixely art, but it's like very like flowy animations. If you kind of skim halfway through, it kind of I don't know, it just kind of, it has like almost like an old Mario map navigator, and then also like very kind of fleshy kind of
Oh yeah.
yeah, and that's kind of like what I was talking about with the anime strategy game from earlier.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're a big fan of what I'm about to announce next, and it does come out tomorrow, so you might end up being tempted to grab it after Starfield.
Okay.
The Dark Pictures Anthologies come out with another title called Little Hope.
Wait. No.
Oh, no, wait. Never mind. It's not a new one. Never mind. It's just coming out on Switch. I
Okay.
misread that.
I was gonna say, I know my Dark Picture, and that I played that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
but you know, left Tokyo of some '90s nostalgia and recoup from that. Detective Pikachu gets its own game
Okay, that's kind of sick.
on Switch.
Yeah.
And then for anime nerds, and honestly, I actually don't mind this one. You know the Sword Art Online series?
Yeah. I've never looked at it, but I've heard it so many times. I might as well have known.
Yeah. If you're not gonna watch the actual series, I highly recommend watching the abridged. You'll be laughing
Okay.
a lot more. I don't know if you need the context of the series because the abridged it's nihilist humor.
All right.
But so Sword Art Online Lost Collection comes out Friday, on all the platforms. I might check out what their reviews are. Usually the big appeal to these ones is that you play through a bit of solo, you eventually get to workshop your you start off as like, you know, the main protagonist, and then it lets you kind of just take him out and then sub input yourself,
Yeah.
and then still following the story, but you get to customize the character, kind of choose different weapons. Like a lot of them, like, yeah, you start off with like the sword fighting or the dual sword fighting, but then if you want, you can go branch off into like the different kind of classes.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So you get like a taste of everything in the game.
Yeah,
Cool.
if you want.
Yeah.
Or you can just play it tried and true and keep being the main character from the anime.
Okay.
It lets you kind of turn the plot line and the story in the manga and the anime into kind of like a, okay, it's not that guy, it's you now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so offline single player with online modes for up to 4 players co-op.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Borderlands 3 comes to the Switch on the same day, on October 6th. I don't know if that's going to be streaming or if that's going to be straight up download, but I imagine they have had the time they optimize it.
Yeah.
And like I discussed earlier, Roblox on the 10th comes to PlayStation. I'm honestly like, if I had little ones, I wouldn't let them touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Oh God.
Just because there's the amount of predators that are on there, the fact that like anyone that kind of speaks in the internet culture knows that it's kind of a cesspool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually an amazing question, maybe for the extended edition. But as two people that don't have kids, I want to see which games we would allow our kids to play. But let's leave that for the extended edition. Continue.
Yeah, that
Sorry.
sounds like a good touch.
Right?
That might be a terrible way to say that for that. But back onto things in a manner for like Nintendo and good games. The Little Gator game. So it's kind of like it's interesting. It kind of reminds me of Wind Waker graphics
Yeah.
from Legend of Zelda,
Okay.
but it's more charming and it looks like a little less violent, to be honest. This one would definitely get a pass on the kid can play this until proven otherwise.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. But it's little thing is like if you're looking for a cute open world, you can hang out with some animal pals, take photographs, engage in all kind of outdoor shenanigans. You may want to check out Little Gator Game. I mean, if you want. That's literally like the little description.
Oh, what's that? Yeah, it almost kind of gives me Animal Crossing vibes a bit.
Yeah, but
Just
it's
a
got
bit?
the Wind Waker graphics,
Yeah.
which I could like honestly like if I had a little one, I'd be like, here. I would actually probably present this game to them
Right?
as like kind of an intro to video games.
Yeah, and that's where I would think like the topic's actually kind of interesting to discuss, where it's like it's what I'm comfortable with them playing, but also where I'm like, if you want to get into video games, I don't want you thinking that like this trash that's just trying to advertise you as video games. It's like, no, you can. There's like something.
You don't want thing with gotcha. You don't want something with a battle pass. You don't. You want something that's it's a game meant to be a game.
Yeah, where it's like, no, you're gonna have a great time, and I'm gonna have to tell you to turn it off at midnight, not because my credit card just got declined at Walmart, but because you're playing it too much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I'll get a couple more games off before we have to go into the extended.
Yeah.
So Honkai Star Rail, originally like a phone game for iOS. On 11th, it's coming to like the consoles, the PlayStations. It says Windows, but it's already kind of on there if you're willing to go through Epic. I think it's just coming to everything else.
Okay.
But the interesting is it's I'm not gonna even try to pronounce the company because I'm gonna pronounce it terribly, and I got a limited time before you're gonna cut me off here.
No, you got about a minute or two.
All right, it's turn-based combat, but it's made by a company that says if you're gonna make $1 billion off a game, it needs to look like $1 billion game.
I love that.
And it's part of like it's the third installment in this mobile series that has blown up. And you know the what they do is you originally like it's a gotcha, so you can either buy the character, you can roll for characters, or you can save up enough of your in-game things to obtain a character.
Okay.
And so, but it's pretty much like, oh, here's the new character. Go grab them and use them, and they come with their own voice lines and all that stuff. But everything is all interactable to a T, to the point where there's a tree you can talk to that you wouldn't know you can talk to it. You just happen to walk past it, the prompt will come up, and you're like, now you're just talking to a sentient tree.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's a full RPG. Like I know a lot of people that play like a lot of the RPGs you would buy, they like this just because of how well written it is.
Yeah.
So there's a little quality in there. But take her away.
Okay, and that'll finish up our broadcast on Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM. If you want to catch the extended edition, it is on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're going to be there. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you next Thursday. Goodbye. Welcome back to On the Rewind. Okay, and welcome back to the On the Rewind extended edition on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, really wherever you listen to podcasts, we're there. And we just finished up our broadcast on Amherst Island 101.3 FM. Okay, and do you have anything to lead us into this extended edition, Derek?
Yeah, just to pick up where we left off on the October game catalog.
Sweet.
So next up, we got Rival Showdowns coming out on the 11th.
Okay.
Now this is your 2D side scroller. It's, I don't know, a modest interpretation of a side scroller beat 'em up karate.
Okay. And River City. All right, let's check this out.
But the whole thing is like bring down those bullies of macho moves.
Okay.
Yeah.
4-minute trailer changes. All right, let's skip through and go.
Yeah. But it's
I do love the
so
art
it's
style.
2.5 kind of visuals.
Yeah.
Which its kind of goal is to bring back like the 1989, kind of like the early 1990s like beat 'em ups
Yeah.
back into like the 21st century. Batman. That's the word I was searching for. Batman Arkham Trilogy. So the three main games that were big and popular, they're coming back onto the Switch.
Oh wow. That's kind of
So Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. I don't know. Arkham, is that the movie Arkham Knight? I don't know. I feel like I'm.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Arkham Knight, but it's not nighttime night. It's
Yeah.
chivalry night. Okay,
Yeah.
I got those right without looking at the description.
Yeah,
Little
because
pat on the back.
there was that other one that was made by the other people, where it was like before everything happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
speaking of, because it's going to tie in, because it's actually a nice little segue. So the Game Pass is going to be implementing Gotham Knights. So you and me should hit a little bit of co-op on that sometime, because free. We're paying for Game Pass anyway.
Yeah, that is one that I've always toyed around with the idea of playing it, because it's like it's right up my alley.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing with Game Pass is that these games eventually come on there, and you're just like, yeah, I'll play it because it's no additional cost.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't talk me out of. You got me on Game Pass, and then Starfield and Payday came out, and I was like, oh, okay, so I'm never giving up the subscription.
Plus, like the Need for Speed and everything else like that.
Yeah.
And you even went and got a controller. It's Spotify for gamers.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Like they did it really well, and I never. Yeah. There's nothing.
The
else
only
to
downside is you can't use your PlayStation controllers on the Microsoft Store. Otherwise, it'd be ideal.
Yeah. Disclaimer for anyone trying that: they like specifically made it so you don't want to. Like it's almost
Need for Speed. Your camera's in rear view. And your go is backwards if you try using a PlayStation controller.
Yeah,
but if you plug in an Xbox, perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, it's like almost hilarious because you can go forward and view forward, but you gotta hold like 3 different buttons down and your stick in one position just to be able to do that. And they're like, "Okay, hit break," and I'm like, "I gotta let go of something." So yeah, like no, it's comical because they're like, yeah, you could use this, but you're gonna hate yourself, and it's just not gonna be a fun time.
I couldn't even use it, to be honest.
Oh
That's how bad it was for me.
Yeah.
So coming up after that, we got on October 13th, Lords of the Fallen.
Okay.
So, kind of just off the title, it's very medieval, kind of dark fantasy.
I've seen this advertised.
Yeah.
So because PlayStation,
yeah. It's kind of looking like a little bit like a Dark Souls, kind of trying to be.
Oh yeah. If you skip to 2 minutes and 50 seconds,
even like the 5.5. Yeah, no, definitely got the Dark Souls vibes.
Yeah.
A little bit of stylistic choicing. You got everything from kind of like the Rags Wizard to the Blood Hunter of like Bloodborne, or the
Mhm.
Hunters in Bloodborne to the medieval knights kind of aesthetic going on.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I cough.
That's funny. You excuse yourself.
No.
I've coughed like 6 times.
Yeah. And then, despite of all things, and that the never-ending, undying IP that is SpongeBob SquarePants, the Cosmic Shake.
Cosmic Shake.
That is an IP that will never die.
Oh.
But it's, it's a 3D SpongeBob game. You got references to all the different episodes. You got, like, Ooga Ooga to just regular levels and stuff like that kind of going on.
Yeah.
Even one where he's got like an afro pirate, the wizard hat, everything
Yeah,
kind of
you
going on. It kind of looks like they're trying to go back to what the old school PS2 games managed to pull off, and they, back when Nickelodeon released IPs to companies that did their titles justice.
Yeah. By the way, you can't show this to my partner because then she'll make me buy it and then me play it for her enjoyment. Because that's exactly what happened with the rehydrated SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. And I like the first hour, I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. This is like old platformer stuff. But then like it's also a game that was made to be difficult.
Yeah.
And there's a few parts where I'm like, you sure you don't want to take the controller? She goes, oh no, I could never do this. I go, oh sweet, so we're gonna watch Netflix? She goes, no, I want to see what happens. I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine.
That's when you got to find her a YouTube Let's Player that she likes,
Oh my god, really though? Yeah,
or find one that doesn't, or find a channel that doesn't speak but plays her all the games.
that'd be funny. I'll
Well,
put that.
there's
full
actually a channel
screen.
that does it very well. McFire and Ice.
You know what? I'm gonna do that. Put it full screen. Give her a dead controller.
And I know mine would be very much into this. Skull Island: Rise of Kong
Oh,
comes out October 17th.
sweet. I've always been into the Jack Black Kong movie for some reason. I just loved.
Yeah. Now that you play as Kong, it's kind of a beat 'em up. You're not humongously huge. I think you might get bigger as the game progresses. Not really, no. Everything's kind of giant.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was kind of like the whole thing with Kong, where like he wasn't the biggest. He was big, but he wasn't the biggest. It all varies depending on the movie. Kong's size drastically changes.
Another Sonic Superstars comes out October 17th. Burning the midnight oil right now. So I don't know if that's. But it looks like it goes up to 4 players there, so it looks like it's a revamp / remake.
Yeah.
Not too bad looking. Got the updated graphics. Or it might just be the collection. I don't know. But send that your way. Now, one thing, you know Devolver.
Maybe?
People that made Enter the Gungeon, stuff like that. Yeah. Well, the new IP that's kind of following after that, it's kind of in the same idea / name, is Wizard with a Gun.
Hey. Close.
Yeah. Which, if you've seen my characters in the current campaigns, is an adept description of what my character is currently.
I love
in
it.
both my D&D games, an artificer. So
Wizard with a gun. I know this isn't actually gameplay, but the trailer art.
about a minute 25 in.
A minute and 25, you get gameplay?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. It almost gives me Don't Starve vibes.
Yeah.
I like the shading on this better.
Yeah. Are you familiar with The Wolf Among Us?
Oh yeah.
I don't know who's making this. Might have to look into it. Oh. Okay, I just read a little bit more into it. Remember Lance Reddick?
God help me out, I'm awful with names.
Hotel clerk from John Wick.
Yep.
Guy that was also the, how do I say this? Raccoon City, Resident Evil, Albert Wesker,
Yep.
in the live action TV show,
Yeah.
which that in itself was kind of funny because you got the whitest kind of neo clank clank. I don't want to say certain words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now being played by, different diversity, and that was just kind of interesting take considering the plot point they last left that off is that guy fell into a volcano.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember you brought this up. Yeah, we're
But
like, poor choice.
yeah, no, Lance Reddick, great actor. He always loved comedy. He always tried. He was, great doing stuff for Community when he wasn't acting too.
Yeah.
He was actually kind of a gamer too, which was kind of cool.
I thought I heard that. Well, actually, yeah, I remember seeing. Oh,
he was actually. Oh yeah, he voiced the Titan in Destiny.
Jesus.
That game.
Yeah,
yeah. And he played it a lot. They actually held like a memorial for him in the game.
Yeah, I remember when he died. One of the pictures was him with a headset and a controller on. I was like, no way.
Yeah, but so this is the art style to kind of capture Hellboy. So it's Hellboy Web of Weird or yeah, I think that's Weird. That's how it's pronounced. It's spelled a little different, WYRD.
Yeah.
Comes out on the 18th, and Hellboy is voiced by the late Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
So he must have already finished like all his recordings and stuff like that, and had this thing because voice acting is usually pretty done early in advance once the story's all written.
Yeah.
And they kind of cut it what they don't need.
Yeah, that's really funny that you said Wolf Among Us because anyone watching the trailer, yeah.
No,
Really nice.
I saw a glimpse of it. I'm like, yeah, Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
Which is supposedly Wolf Among Us 2 is being developed.
That's gonna be fun. That was actually the first game that got my partner kind of interested in starting to look to play games. Very mildly interested, mind you, but still.
Next up is Cavern of Dreams. That's coming to Windows. So definitely like Nintendo 64 era vibes. Like we're talking Ocarina of Time, Mario 3D, that kind of aesthetic.
Oh yeah.
Banjo and Kazooie. And you know what? I'd be happy for games that kind of return to this kind of polygon art style. Like I know it's a niche, and it's not a niche that's gonna fill as big. But with someone with I don't know if you could pull something like this off in like Unreal, and then have something that's like this graphics, but have like ray tracing and the dynamic light and taking care of all that. And
didn't they try that with a first-person shooter? Made it like an 8-bit Doom style, but like
oh yeah, they did a Warhammer Doom thing.
Yeah, because when you
turned
play
out all right.
Yeah, when you play it, you can tell it's not from the 90s, but like the style looks it. But when you're actually smoothly switching weapons and stuff, you know that you're on a better system.
Yeah, so this is from Benign Studio.
Okay.
I'm curious. I just want to look them up real quick. And Benign Itch.io. Yeah, they got a handful of games. Yeah, they're indie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one guy. that indie.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, give that some shout around if you know any gamers that or like anyone that was born in the 90s or earlier that's nostalgic for that sort of thing. Give Cavern of Dreams a shout, coming out October 19th. Definitely like some indie that could use a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we got a VR title coming out on the old PS VR 2 and Windows. So, everything else when it comes to VR, probably.
Yeah.
You actually start off paddling on a boat by the seams of it. It's a little ghost adventure game. You're like, waving lanterns around, solving puzzles, stormy
Oh.
castle, not castle, ghosts.
Yeah, when I first saw the title, I thought it was a murder mystery, and now I think that'd be an awesome thing for VR, but this looks equally as good.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of things that are coming out for VR that are, I don't know when the date of Ghostbusters.
Okay, yeah. See, I think horror and VR go really well together, obviously.
Well, you and me did that one, like, it was in VR. It was a horror map, and you and me were like, oh.
Oh, yeah, just because, like, wow, when you're hearing everything around you moving and, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it, even as, like, a grown-ass man. I'm like, nah, I am
Yeah.
terrified right now.
Yeah. Honestly, I know I haven't touched the VR headset so much, but the new Quest 3 looks so good.
Yeah.
I'll touch on it a little bit after we get through the game announcements for October. So do you remember Disney Gargoyles?
Are you talking about like the gargoyles that were in the castle with that hunchback?
Exactly. There's an actual like show called Gargoyles.
Oh no, not even a little bit. What I was thinking of. Ancient
They're
gar-
remastering the old Disney game. Came out in
Oh,
like Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo back in 1995
oh wow.
with reworked sound design, animations, and new features like rewind. Which hey, we're on the rewind.
We are contractually obligated to show this.
Make that pun. Two different angles there.
Yeah. Ding. Do you hear that? We just got paid $20.
Yeah. I wish.
Yeah, anytime you say on the rewind.
Yeah.
But
I'd be fucking hollering. So what's interesting is that, so this is supposed to be kind of like a horror game, kind of. I don't know if it's supposed to be smutty. I think it is supposed to be a little bit. It's got the anime style to it. I think you're supposed to get like a waifu out of it or something. It's the whole can you trust them? Who's gonna murder you? Inescapable, no rules, no rescue. October 19th.
yeah, Derek. I think it's supposed to be just a tiny bit smutty.
Yeah. Oh, it says 17 plus, not 18 plus. So
Yeah.
they tamed it down a notch.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I never
Yeah.
played the first one, but Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged coming October 19th.
Okay. I remember
I know
seeing trailers for the first one. It was actually kind of fun.
Yeah. It looks like, I don't know, they definitely got the toy car texture down.
Yeah. Yeah, if I want to play something like that,
Oh.
though, I want to play that Lego racing game.
Yeah, I remember what you were saying. It's like 2K or something.
Yeah.
So, this next title, Cattails, A Wild Wood Story, October 20th. It is a story about cats.
Okay.
We're looking through. It's a very pixely game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, finally. It's funny when they always start trailers with like super high animated, then they go to a pixel cat.
And then jumping and significant, I don't know, quality might be the wrong word. It's going for a different thing.
Yeah.
But high-end visuals, AAA, Marvel Spider-Man 2, October 20th.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. That's got me pretty excited.
Also, same day. Switch, Nintendo puts it their own bangers. They have their own niche market.
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Yeah, it's funny. All these links you've been sending me for any Switch game always has Wonder just in the bottom corner advertising.
Really?
Well, that'd be something for my partner to play. She finally got into a genre, and it's Mario, of all things.
Hey, it looks like it's multiplayer, so.
We're just going to pretend it's not. Because it's pretty
I mean,
fun.
that looks like a White Claw night with, you and your friends.
Yeah. I also just like having an iPad kid for a spouse every once in a while. Just give her the Switch and just be like, there you go. Now you can't complain when I play Shipbuilder for like 3 hours.
So October 24th, we get Cry Machina. Kind of an anime another anime kind of take on Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Kind of almost in the Nier Automata
Yeah.
kind of theme, but like you got half robot, half people.
Okay. Yeah, I see the Nier Automata to that.
Yeah. So we got City Skylines afterwards, which is your city management games. It's where SimCity left off and another studio picked up, Colossal Order.
Yeah, and like went 10 times harder into the details and actually management of a city.
Yeah. YouTube videos are always so much more better than actually playing for this, I feel like, because I'll watch a guy and their city's being torn down. They're like, everything's in crisis. And then when I play, it's like, everything's fine. I mean, taxes,
Yeah.
the happiness is like,
I was just going to say taxes. It's also like, yeah, there's a backup on the 405, but like no meteors or sinkholes.
Yeah, right. So it's like,
Yeah.
meanwhile,
No.
you go watch the YouTube video, it's like, oh, he's got a dinosaur running through his town.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it came out free on like PlayStation Plus, the first Skylines, and I
Yeah.
played it because I've watched so many YouTube videos, and I was like, this is boring. This is so boring. I am like talking to the PTA community right now to make sure our schools are safe. It's like these guys have great times, and you can't even like you can mess up, but all they do is just game over. There's no meteor coming in or anything like that.
One fun thing you can do is just let crime take over.
That would be funny.
You just you pretty much build up like the casinos, and you pretty much say anything else like that, and you pretty much invite crime into the city. That's one niche way to play it. But
Don't talk about Belleville like that.
are you kidding me? That's just Ontario
Yeah.
or
Well,
Quebec.
yeah, we
I
built up the
don't.
casino and we let crime
Alberta just seems peaceful, but that's probably just because they're cold.
in.
BC's on fire all the time,
Yeah.
and then all our northern provinces and territories.
There's not enough crime. There's not enough people to have crime.
Honestly, like if you're south over that like Canadian equator,
Yeah.
you don't really hear too much about the north aside from none of it. And
Yeah.
that's the far north. It's like, oh, they're melting, and this town sunk because they built on ice and not ground. It happens. It's like, but you know what though? When we were kids, it's like that. You'd hear about the prices, like it's like back when like a can of Coke was like $1.
Yeah.
You go and you'd hear it's like, oh, it's like $5 up in Nunavut because they gotta get dropped off. They gotta get like cargo dropped in.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, so you're telling me, like 8 years later, 10 years later, I'm paying Nunavut prices now, just for the convenience store.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. Just imagine someone not Canadian just listening to just like,
Yeah, you just have someone
town
that's like,
sunk. It's
they're
like,
just like, well, actually, you know what? Some of them probably understand that, like Texas and sinkholes.
okay, yeah, yeah, just same, but different.
Yeah. Well, it's like, man, it wasn't until the tornado in Barrie, like during like the pandemic, that I realized that we get more than just warnings in Ontario.
Oh yeah, that's like
Because you don't hear about it anywhere else. They say, yeah, natural disasters happen. We're on fire all the time.
Yeah, but I do remember also in school it was kind of like, yeah, we could get a tornado, but like with just how how everything is, it's like not really gonna happen a lot.
Yeah.
It's same with earthquakes where we are, like the tectonic plates. It's like Southern Ontario really isn't in that much danger of a lot of natural disasters, except for snowstorms, stuff like that. But yeah,
The snow gets bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Christmas last year?
Oh.
God, that was funny.
You're telling me when I was working at the cement plant, carrying out conveyor belts and the commute to and from there, it was 4-wheel drive or I'm not getting home.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's funny. There was a lot of people that came into the store afterwards. I was like, "How's your Christmas?" They go, "Well, my wife's not too happy because I wait to get her gift until like 2 days before, and we were snowed in for 4 or 5 days. So I had gifts under the tree. She had nothing." I was like, there was a
Oh.
lot of poor planners that, yeah.
Um, but circling back to the games, Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
Volume 1 Master Collection. I talked a little bit about this earlier. They're finally releasing all the older games back onto modern consoles and PC. So this is like Metal Gear for like the NES, Snake's Revenge, which I haven't even heard of.
No, neither have
We
I.
got Metal Gear Solid VR Missions, which is I think the actual like, Game Boy game.
Oh, cool.
Um, and then you got Metal Gear's 2 Solid Snake, which is different from the Solid games.
All right.
And then you got Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Okay.
And you probably just like, okay, what are those? It's pretty much this guy that goes Metal Gear
Yeah,
or
like
never changes. And you're playing a tactical stealth game.
yeah, because I played 5, I think. Was that the popular one?
5 and 4.
Yeah, I
4
think.
was only on the PS3 though. I'm actually kind of surprised. You know what though? It's Volume 1. Volume 2 might include 3 or not 3, 4
And 5.
and 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember like it's always kind of been in the same realm, but it's never never crossed paths really. I tried 5 and I was like, I keep getting killed. So then my little baby boy brain was like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I've heard only great things though. That's the only problem.
Yeah, they're called classics.
Yeah.
It's like how Resident Evil's called classic, but not everyone likes Resident Evil games because tanky controls and
Yeah.
all the other stuff before it was kind of more modernized. And then after that, we got Vertigo 2, also coming out on October 24th.
Okay.
It's kind of just looking like it's a VR title. It's so you got a little bit of combat shooting, but you're kind of
Alright.
exploring. So you got an 8K and it's a castle.
Sweet.
And then you got outer space out of all of a sudden, and a guy with a snake arm. It's kind of it looks like it's just kind of one of those all over the place, kind of just
Oh, kind of reminds me of Stanley Parable stuff, where like it's just going from one thing to another.
yeah, it's kind of like that, in a
Ooh,
sense,
I
but
do like the
it's
gunplay though.
yeah, it's different. There's an underwater chunk that has me going like, yeah, no, that just no.
Yeah.
Anything where I have to be in a body of water for a certain period of time. No. Especially
Yeah.
when they have giant squids or fish with teeth or anything like that.
Yeah,
No.
I feel you. There's
No.
I am always waiting for the one thing that is going to make me have motion sickness in VR. I think that would be it.
We've talked about it before. Ghost Runner 2.
Yeah.
Then we got Dave the Diver's coming out on Switch. Have you seen Dave the Diver?
No.
It's probably the only like water game I wouldn't mind playing because it's pixels. It's okay. Which you're like, but hey, all video games is just pixel. But this one is pixel.
Okay, let's check this out. Oh, I do like how he's a little chubby diver. That's fun.
Yeah. He's supposed to be retired and gets kind of roped into a weird scheme.
Oh wow, yeah, this is all over the place. This kind of
It's
seems
it's
cool.
it's
though.
it's a restaurant manager, an underwater exploration game, a management game. It's a bunch of stuff,
Yeah, kind of
and there's
almost
boss fights and stuff like that.
seems like kind of a point and click adventure almost, but with so many mini games, it'll make your head spin.
Yeah. We got Alan Wake 2 coming out October 27th,
Okay.
which is, you switch between Alan Wake and Anderson, who is the FBI agent looking into your misadventures or your missing case or whatever's going on with you.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got also on the 27th, I can't believe they're already up to it, UFC 5.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
I feel like I was a kid when the first one came up for the PS3, and my dad picked it up and was like, "Yeah, UFC video game." 'Cause he's big into UFC, Chuck Liddell, and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I used to be like decent at it when college first rolled around. But then people started learning how to grapple and I went down yeah.
Yeah, and then ironically, it's not a horror game, but on the 31st, Descent puzzle game of climbing. It's kind of like, I don't know, you got this like cute little alien in your backpack, and you're kind of Absolver art style, kind of just trying to climb this mountain to keep him safe.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with Absolver.
I really liked Absolver. I'm sad that it didn't really go anywhere past the first DLC.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like they dropped that almost immediately. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. It's probably like the one fighting game I was good at. It's always the games I'm good at. It's not that I'm bad at video games.
Honey, I swear, they just need to give me more time.
Yeah. Not too many new games are coming to the Game Pass. You got Forza Motorsports for September 2023. Hands-on preview coming on. You got From Space, which is kind of like a twin-stick shooter. Like a Dragon Inishi, which is based off one of the army management mini games you have in the main game,
Yeah.
expanded into its own game. It's already on the PC Game Pass, but Warhammer Dark Tide's coming to the consoles on the Game Pass. They also just recently reworked all the classes for that game, so that might be worth taking another look into.
Mm-hmm.
But back onto the kind of like the last little bit of news I got. So, Meta Quest, aka Oculus Quest, that's no longer Oculus anywhere on the branding. In fact, I'm pretty sure give it a couple more years, no one's gonna know what Oculus even was.
Oh, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. But they got a new mixed reality VR headset. Have you seen any of the videos on this?
No, but I like a mixed reality because I'm not going to pay for it, but what Apple's doing is pretty awesome to watch.
Yeah, and this is at like a fraction of the cost.
That's
and
what
it's
I'd
up
like
there.
to hear.
So, mind you, it costs us about as much as a PS5 in our current market.
Yeah.
Mind you, it comes with a game. But you can, that's just them send you a link to the main website there. But you know that Demio?
I just saw Wrath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Demio, like the D&D tabletop thing that you and me played for a little bit.
Yeah.
So the mixed reality it's really cool where you actually like it's all on a table in front of you. You can do it either in the game or you can mix reality where it's just like you're seeing through it. It's color pass through.
Yeah.
Everything's attached to your environment. Some games even mix with it. But another cool thing is like the graphical changes, like the fact that the hardware that's in it is more powerful.
Yeah.
You got so what's it? The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners.
Yeah.
Better textures. Zombies, they're a little bit more improved. They're not too graphically improved, but all the textures, items, your arms, your hands, animations, effects, dynamic lighting. The Quest 2 didn't have dynamic lighting for those games. It was just Silent Hill 2 PS2 kind of fog,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, very
And
static almost.
so graphic comparison. So here, quick little clip to send you here. Great for an audio format. Just telling you. Great. Just wonderful.
Yeah, just look up Quest 2 versus Quest 3 graphic comparison Walking Dead.
Yeah, I just looked up Meta Quest 3 graphic comparison. But it even shows he goes from fog, more saturations, more zombies on screen. Animations are a little bit better. The guns look better. The tracking's better. And one thing that I don't know if it's confirmed, but I've saw and read that they have possibly inside-out tracking. So what that means is, let's say you have your controllers in front of you and you go to kick,
Yeah.
it'll track your leg kicking. So like the blades and sorcery and stuff like that, or it'll actually track like your legs and stuff like that. So you got arms and legs tracking.
Yeah, funny. That'd be...
So, VR chat horror map, kick it away.
It'd be funny if it just tracks my partner, just...
And then your legs go, problem.
Kick.
But,
yeah.
and instead of setting up the Guardian and stuff like that, it scans the room now.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Lots. Go ahead.
I remember I set the Guardian, because you know how the Quest 2 had like home screens pretty much? I
Yeah.
remember I walked throughout my whole house and set the Guardian from the one door to the other, so I could actually walk around the whole home screen. So I would love if you could like actually not have to do that, because you know how much stuff I freaking hit.
Yeah. But, it's coming with all the safety features for Find. It's designed to be slimmer to the face, so it's not going to be as much weight on your nose.
Nice.
It's supposed to be more of a weight, like a headphone strap.
Cool.
It's supposed to be balanced here
Yeah.
on top. You don't have the rings on the outside.
Oh.
It's actual cameras in the controller. So the battery life of the controllers go down, but better tracking.
Yeah, you're not
And they
afraid
track
to break those rings.
and they track independently.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They're charging $70 for different colored straps. But yeah, and even like the straps is different, because they even fork off in like I'll show you. This one doesn't show the down view as good, but actually you can kind of see it here. So the red strap here, you see how it has the V groove or the A kind of shape?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So it molds to your head.
Yeah. So that's going to be better for the beginner strap. You know me, I bought a custom. I got a lot of things for mine that was
Custom
accessories to
third
make it
party,
more comfortable. Like how they had that like really like styrofoamy scratchy material on like the face.
Oh yeah.
Immediately went for like a vinyl cushion.
Oh thank God. Yeah. You'd almost need to.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff. I love how they finally, like, on the second iteration, they gave you a sweat guard.
Yeah.
Like the rubber sweat guard. It's like, yeah, you don't think, yeah. It was like, you wanted this to be a family console. You don't want all that, like, sweat and gob on you.
Yeah. So I think this is the clip here where it's supposed to show like the mixed reality aspect, which is really cool because I like the idea of the whole piano thing. So at at 33 seconds there, and then let's see, it doesn't really showcase as much as I thought it did.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, so like at a minute 46, you got the the Stranger Things game that gets tied in there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's funny. Virtual reality's sick, but for some reason to me, almost like the mixed reality I find so much more interesting.
Yeah. One other cool thing that I really want to check out, but it's like one of those things like, you know me, I'm a social gamer.
Yeah.
I don't really care for. So, mind you, this is from 11 months ago, before it really got refined. But this is like the first glimpse of like the mixed reality in Demio.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah, so it's people playing D&D on like their coffee table, but I do love the fact that it puts helmets on people.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. That would be cool if this is where like D&D, well, it is eventually. That's where it's
Yeah.
going to go to, where it's like, yeah, you can
Yeah, and
just
they're
have a
adding hand
huge,
tracking and stuff like that. And the new VR headset's going pretty hard on the hand tracking too.
yeah.
But with kind of all that kind of under the out of the way and on the table, last news story.
All right.
All right. Did you hear about what happened with the Unity engine?
Yes. Yes. Are you talking about how they tried to charge
Yeah.
everyone? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they started finally backpedaling.
Oh, yeah, they did.
But what's interesting is like 3 weeks before the announcement, some of the high end shareholders started selling stocks, which is always a sign that they're going to make a decision that they know is not going to be popular.
Yeah, they were the ones that went against the vote in the boardroom and knew it's going to be a bad idea, so they
Or
sold.
voted and sold it before it dropped,
Oh, that'd be.
and then buy low, right? If they repair it.
Yeah.
That's how I look at that kind of thing.
I was gonna say that's
You
just an
don't need
extra level.
you don't need inside trader information if you're the person that's inside without trading the information causing the problem.
Yeah.
But so they went trying to they wanted to charge developers by the install
Mm-hmm.
and not just buy it once install and all the installs after the first one. No, every single one.
Yeah.
And they all the pirating stuff like that. They even deleted their terms of service off the internet, off the website they were hosting. And then they got called out on it, and they said it's like, oh, it was just it didn't get enough views.
Yeah.
It's a TOS. It's supposed to just be up there for a guideline. Now, if you look at American law and our own law in Canada, that you go with the contract when you sign up, or you're forced, unless it's one that says subject to change on renewal. But when you, on the version of Unity that you develop on, you're locked into that version's contract.
Yeah.
It's typically how it goes. So, if you had the money for lawyers, you could fight, them trying to change it and all that stuff. But you had a lot of stores saying, oh, we're just going to take or a lot of developers saying, well, yeah, buy the game now because we're taking it off stores as of like when this goes into effect, which was supposed to be January 1st of next year.
Which is funny because it probably helped a lot of small developers. That is like, you won't have a chance. You buy it now, because
Yeah.
it's gonna be gone. God, yeah, I remember seeing that and just laughing when it first got released, because it's like there's no way they'll stand. That's just, yeah.
Yeah. But they were the go-to engine for indie.
Yeah.
Escape from Tarkov is made on Unity. What was it? What's that? Cult of the Lamb, that little Devolver indie published thing, that's on Unity.
Oh no,
Right.
it literally, I know this is probably pretty niche to just where I am, but it'd be like if the 401 also became a toll road. It's just like,
Oh god.
Right. Okay.
Highway 2 would be so abused.
Yeah.
So abused.
Yeah, for anyone who's listening, it's like a huge highway that everyone uses around me. And then there's a little teeny weensy highway that's right next to it. And it's like,
if you haven't been listening and you're an American citizen older than 30, it's the one Terry Fox ran across, and most Americans I feel like know Terry Fox just because he's kind of like the disabled hero.
Yeah. So you're either going on a major highway or you're going Terry Fox route.
Yeah. No, you're going on a backwards highway. That's two lanes, one way this way, one way that way, or you're going on the Terry Fox.
Yeah.
But yeah. It was surprised when I heard it. It was founded in 2004. Excuse me.
Bless you.
But after, it was like one of, like, back when EA did, EA, it's in the game.
Yeah.
Or whatever their slogan was. It's like, Unity was the main engine for that stuff. There's always the public assets and stuff like that. Like, if I look up right now, games made with Unity. You got the OG City Skylines. You got Beat Saber. You got Pokemon Go, Outer Wilds, Fall Guys, Hollow Knight, Cuphead.
Yeah.
Fall Guys is a free-to-play. Genshin Impact. That's another phone game. Among Us, My Friend Pedro, Night in the Woods, Ape Out, Shadowrun games. Dead Frontier. Oh God, Dead Frontier. That takes me back.
Yeah.
Marvel Snap, which is a more recent one. Firewatch, which was a huge game when it came out in 2016. And like I said, Cult Lamb, Freedom Planet 2, Valheim, which is, I know some people that was a pretty big game for them.
Yeah.
But they also said about they love the mobile games, and so the whole thing was just like, well, if you will waive certain costs to you paying us on all these interactions and transactions by implementing our mobile ads that we get revenue off of. We'll cut a bit off and give you some leeway.
You're welcome.
Yeah. By slamming your game with ads.
Yeah, it's just like pointy stick or stick. Which one? It's like, no stick, please? No stick, Papa? Yeah.
And then you reach for the carrot and it turns out the carrot's just an orange stick.
Hey, well, I know what's the intro to this episode. I like that. All right, I think we should probably wrap it up just for my computer's sake of render times. Thank you so much for listening. That's been your updates on all the gaming news that's happening and what's happening in our lives. You've just been rewound. Catch us next Thursday on Amherst Island Radio, 101.3 FM, or anywhere else you listen to podcasts for the broadcast edition and the extended edition, all wrapped into one neat package. Thank you very much. I've been Adam.
I'm Derek, and I wish we could be on the rewind on this clock so I can get some more hours of sleep before my shift. And you'll have a good day and good night.
Thanks for listening to On the Rewind.